a life of abundance, what it looks and feels like is it's more free, peaceful, you're grateful, powerful, freedom, loving life, empowered, feel worthy, you got hope. There's, again, like gratitude. And that's very different to like resentful, unworthy, insecure, blame, excuse, deny, impatient, etc. Because then, when you're impatient, what does it lead to? Instant gratification, can't afford to invest.
Yeah.
Over an abundance, you delay gratification and you invest to afford something later.
Yeah.
Very different to, well, I can't afford to invest, and therefore you live in instant gratification. You've got to learn delayed gratification. You see the internet as a tool to learn, to be inspired, take action, think bigger, grow, connect. Whereas in a life of lack, it's like you're going to use it to find more people that think life's hard, that there's not enough. And you can't even fucking grasp that there's like an internet cable under the sea that you don't even know how it got there.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to fish on it.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to park an anchor on it. Like it's on our GPS when we go on the boat.
Well, dear, don't fuck my internet up, Mikey. Good. There's abundance of places to fish. Just stop fishing on my internet cable.
That's true.
But you don't even know how it's got there, and you're in a life of lack, and you're telling people how tough life is and how there's not enough. And one day that didn't even exist, and you didn't even have access to it. You create the way that you feel, and you learn more about that, and you realize that feelings are actually a choice. And people will be like, no, they're not. It's like, no, okay, go and learn about that, and you start to create the way that you see the world and how you feel. And of course, you're still going to have tough times. Doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen to you. You believe that you're already in possession of your future, and it's in your mind. You've seen it, you know you can achieve it, but you just have to do the work. Contrasting to somebody who lives in a life of lack, it's like, no, it's not possible. Believe that achieving future outcomes is not possible for them. Don't have the tools, don't have not what they need, nor the ability that other people have. Whereas when you're in abundance, you're basically already in possession of the things that you want. You just know that you have to turn your mind and your body to doing the work to get them. You have clear intention and thought. So you actually are clear and thinking about the things that you do in your life. You still have challenges, much like those who have a life of lack, but you see challenges as an opportunity to grow. It's not another challenge, poor me, I can't believe this has happened, this doesn't happen to other people. You're like, okay, this is another thing that I'm going to add to my CV of life. You feel the feeling before it occurs. Now, I thought of two examples. So recently we were explaining about on the end of the 2025 podcast, or 2024, sorry, of like, okay, I get my fellowship and it doesn't, like I've already felt that because I knew I could achieve that in my mind years ago. So I was actually in possession of it.
Yeah, that feeling is optimism. That's because you've already done your mindset training to convert from looking for problems to constantly looking for solutions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as an example, only a small percentage of people become a fellow. My brain goes to, I wonder what they did. How? Okay, I can do that. Why can't that be me? It doesn't go to a life of lack, which is, it's only a small percentage that it'd never be me.
Odds are no good.
Yeah, probability is pretty small. I'm like, I can make that happen. So I'm already in possession of it. Much like you with your CEO role, it doesn't feel like massively different, or to basically now, not doing the broking and now leading the team, because you were already in possession of it in your mind ahead of it actually being the day where you're like, now I transition over into this.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
So when you live in a life of abundance, you sort of, it's really hard to articulate, but those who have achieved things and like get this, they'll understand this, but it's like, it happens and you're like, oh man, cool. Like I kind of already knew that was going to happen because you already had possession of it ahead of it happening.
Yep.
You're more likely to spot programming and propaganda.
Yeah.
So you're like, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're just thinking completely differently. That there's more and that it's amazing. And then when something doesn't seem right, you're like, I need to go and look into that. But when you're in a life of lack, it's like a fact hits your desk, and you're like, bang.
Yeah.
I knew Obama was caught up in that. And you can't even see that it's like clickbait / fake article.
Yeah, like on the internet at the moment, like people are losing their minds over Donald Trump, who's about to be the president in 2 days, launching a meme coin, and like it's gone up. You know, I saw someone post like, "Oh, if you invested in this 3 hours ago, you've made better returns than the S&P 500 since 1980."
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, nah, not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I saw who he was hiring into certain roles. You know, a lot of funding came from crypto people for his campaign. Like, it's all bought. Like, what do you expect? I just look at it, I'm like, oh, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But some people get really upset about it, you know?
Yeah.
Or really excited the other way, not recognizing that it's no different to all the other scam coins that are out there.
Or even like in New Zealand, there was the data started coming out around the amounts of donations from the property sector to national, and then you see like what's happening with rules changing in property investment and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you start to spot it, and you're like, almost like, oh, seriously, like this is happening right under my nose, and I still live here. I've still got to get on with it.
Yeah,
you know?
no matter, just carry on.
Yeah, but I'm not saying there's nothing like that. You shouldn't then be like, okay, I don't know if I agree with that or like that or whatever, but I'm not like, fuck, I know that it's happened now. I might as well just down tools. The whole country's against me. It's all in favour of these.
I'll never own a house.
Yeah, now I'll never develop a property. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm not contributing anymore.
Do you want me to trigger some people?
Oh, Jesus.
The truth is, there isn't a shortage of anything, only your ability to get it.
Ouch.
That hurts, eh?
Yeah.
As I was writing that, I was like, I don't know if I'll talk about that.
Could you put that quote up on your wall at your office?
Yeah, I can do.
Hold your Monday meetings with that in the background. They're all like having to look at you with that above the wall.
It kind of is true, though, right? Like, the only shortage is your ability to go and get something because everything else is available. You know, like a $10 million house, there is a $10 million house. Then it's not like they don't exist. It's only your ability and skill and stuff needed to go and own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the same for everything.
Yeah.